Hello everyone, my name is Ezine Onyanasi. This is my third year in the yard, in the inner circle. I came across TIP at a time in my life where I was struggling with myself, my children, and my family dynamics. But I can tell you for a fact that being in the inner circle has come with a kind of peace I cannot explain. The community has helped me structure my life, my family, my business, and gained massive understanding on the things that really matter. Family. I'm becoming, and my family is becoming. My children are doing great, learning and unlearning what we call the normalized nonsense in the inner circle. My once chaotic mornings are more peaceful. I've built better connection with my children because they feel safer to be more vulnerable with me, with no fear or judgment. TIP has a system that will keep you effectively accountable. I often think of TIP as an extended university of life where you don't have to go through those damaging experiences in order to learn life. We're a huge community of people and we hold each other's hands and learn from each other's experiences. When you understand that the children you're parenting are not yours, but God's, when you understand that you're a royal steward and you have been given arrows and a mandate to protect destinies and legacies, then you know you can't take any of it for granted. No anyhowness in the inner circle. But stay in a system that will hold your hands against all odds. The TIP as a system continuously evaluates and reviews their process. They go above and beyond to do this every year. It's a well-orchestrated system that is very intentional about its processes and the growth of each individual they come in contact with. I believe that TIP is what we need as a nation to take us from where we are currently to where we should be. It's a platform for nation building that yields high quality individuals for future exploits to the glory of God. What are you waiting for? Come and join us and see you and your family literally bloom from grace to grace. Thank you so much, Coach Wendy. I don't have a single regret ever since I joined the inner circle. God bless you and keep you and your family. Amen.
Yes, we are live. Hello, amazing parents and intentional leaders from all over the world. Welcome once again to my intentional parenting journey, the space where we celebrate growth and the beauty of parenting with purpose. And yes, if you're just joining us for the very first time, you are welcome. You are so welcome. Here, we believe that parenting is not just about raising children, but it is about allowing God to raise through us, allowing God to raise us through the process of the intentionality in our parenting journey. Yes, and of course, we can't start without first appreciating the woman whose obedience bettered this movement, our very own mama. My mama, Mama, Coach Wendy Ologi. We love you, ma. We honor you for the heart of helping family, for the heart of holding our hand, the parents across the whole world for showing us that yes, this is doable and giving us the practical tool to actually achieve this goal. Thank you, ma. Thank you so much, Coach Wendy. And yes, while we settle in, please hit on that share button. I always emphasize on hitting on the share button because you never know who can be blessed today by just joining us on this table, by just joining us in this room, by just joining us in this building, by just listening. Someone is going to cut the rhema, someone is going to get the revelation, someone is going to be blessed. Please do not be here without sharing this link. Share the link in every other community you are belong to. Invite people, invite your friends, invite your sister, invite everyone. Make sure they are in this room. This is the room where we are blessed, where we get our rema every morning. And yes, let's meet our amazing guests. Our guest for today. We have with us a truly special woman, yes, Hajiya Fatima Giwa Abdurrahman, popularly known as Fati Giwa. She's the founder of Parenting Autism with FG, and she has a platform that provides a training and guidance and the support for parents who is raising children of autism spectrum. And she's joining us all the way from Ireland, Cape Town. Yes, Hajiya Fatima, it is such a joy to have you here, ma. Welcome again on the space. Welcome here, ma. We are sure going to be blessed. The day is already being beautiful. Thank you so much. Welcome, ma, once again. We are
Yes,
honored to
yes,
have
yes.
you.
Thank you so much, Ifisinachi. It's Cape Verde, actually. Not Cape
Oh,
Town, Cape Verde Island. But it happens. Hello, everyone. Thank you. Oh my gosh, my team leads and my team members are blowing up in the chat, and they are making me blush. Thank you so much. I am honored. I am honored to be here. I'm so happy to be. I've been looking forward to this day to like a month, and now I am here, and I don't even know how to express how I feel. Thank you, Fisinachi. Thank you, Coach Wendy. I'm grateful for Inner Circle. Every day we're saying thank you, thank you, thank you, always. I'm so happy to be here. Shout out to my joyful 1J cohort 1J. I have to give a special shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for the push and encouragement always. So yes, here we are today, finally. The day is here.
thank you so much, ma. So let's jump into today's conversation, the reason why we are here. Ma'am, you joined the Inner Circle program as a mom, already working in a unique journey, raising a child with autism. What inspired that decision? What inspired you? And what was your first impression when you joined the Inner Circle program? Over to you, ma'am.
So when I joined Inner Circle, this is my second year. I joined in 2020. I don't even know how to describe the year, but yes, 2 years ago, through Sex Educates Your Child Like a Pro. I was in this group, a community, like an accountability group. That was when I was just trying to like really put myself out there as an entrepreneur and all of that. So and we were all female, and one discussion led to the other, and one of the members who is also a TIP yada here, and she mentioned something about the sex educate, and she shared the link with us. And I was like, I'd never heard who is Coach Wendy. I've never even heard anything, but I was intrigued that someone is out there, talking about, sex educating our children. This is not something that is very common. So immediately I signed up for it. And that was how I started the journey. So from that period, I feel a part of me feel like I started 3 years ago, because from that sex educate your child like a pro, I started, following, joining a few, Tuesday live, and just basically following Coach Wendy on all of the social media platforms. And I was wowed from the course. It was very detailed. It was like so many things beyond what I could imagine. And this is coming from me, that I before joining CIP, people that knew me, they knew me as an intentional parent, and now I question myself that was I really an intentional parent that time, or I was just doing anyhow. But that was just the opening, what did they call it, the lights. And then immediately there was no pushing, there was no encouragement. Immediately I paid the deposit, and I signed up by the end of 2023, I believe. So, and that was how my journey started. But along the line, I was just like, I had doubts also. I said, why is this hype? What is this hype? And I also said I'm also coming from a place where I already considered myself an intentional parent before I joined. So I felt like, what is it going? What is this Coach Wendy that everybody is shouting? Because you will see the comments, you will see people making noise. Yeah, that can make noise. The noise was too much, especially for you that you have not joined in, and you will be so anxious. Like, okay, let me get there. Honestly, I came to just to see and criticize. I'm like, what is all these things? I came there with my judgment mentality. Let's even go and see what is happening in there now. Why is the noise so much? So that was the mindset. I came in to the Inner Circle, and immediately I came in like this. I started calming down. I will calm down, I will judge, I will calm down, I will judge. But now I have repented.
Amazing. Amazing. It's beautiful how God often meets us right where we were.
Yes,
Not where we wish we were, or where we were. Sometimes the
absolutely.
help God sent us is not to change the story, but to strengthen us for the story. God sends it for us just
It,
where we were.
abs- exactly. Exactly. And this is how I always feel about the inner circle, because at that point, I didn't even realize that I needed all this knowledge. In my mind, I had a different word in mind, that when I before I joined, I had that, like, I'm learning, I'm in the face, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. Nobody can teach me this. That was the kind of mentality I came in with this thing. Hey, when I started on learning, I didn't even know anything about unlearning and relearning until then when I came and it still started hitting me. I'm like, eh? And back to my childhood, my dad was an intentional parent. I will give it to him. But we are on the same level, me and my dad, may God rest his soul. We are on the same level, because if you ask me back then, before I joined Inner Circle, I would say my dad was an intentional parent. But hey, when Coach Wendy started opening all this thing, I will still give it to him that at least, there's 50% of it, those things. And so that was where my own, I now kind of, started parenting my children based on what my dad, the legacy he left behind in his own parents. Some of those things that I loved about what we did together, the spending time together, many of the tools, the reading, you give you something to read and you come and share what you learned from it. All of those things we grew up. The traveling, my dad is big on traveling. He says traveling is part of education. So there's that traveler also already in me. And when I travel like this, I see the world in a different thing. I'm learning to also pass that legacy to my children. So, it's just a lot of things came in and everything just started adding up. And I started to refine those learnings from my dad. I started to refine my own too and start putting it into so I call it upgrade. So I'm like upgrading it, like, the way iPhone is always upgrading the iPhone. So when my children's turn reach, they will upgrade from what I have passed down. And that is how the cycle is going to go.
That's the beautiful gift of being part of the Inner Circle program. You just keep adding up. You just refine the knowledge. It is whatever it is
Yes.
you think you had that was best. Inner Circle refines
Yes.
every aspect of it. It
Absolutely.
gives you the structure. It gives you the hope that you could do it. And it's
Yes.
even the unknown, the that fear of unknown. Because when you are coming in to come and judge us. You do not even know what
Yes.
it is that is involved. You don't know what is there until you step in. Thank you
Yes.
so much, ma. And if you're just joining us, amazing yadas and parents all over the world, you're joining us, you're here, you're seeing, and you're listening to Mrs. Fatima Giwa all the way from Ireland, and she's been here. She's been able to share her journey. So far, she said when she came into the Inner Circle, she came prepared to come and see what it is that we are doing, and she wants to come and drag us. She wants to come and judge us. But when she came in, God actually met her where she were, and it has been so beautiful. So far, ma'am, please, I would want to know, how has the Inner Circle transformed your mindset as a mother and as a coach, and in your marriage and in your journey generally? What are some things that shifted for you in how you see parenting and purpose entirely? Over to you, ma'am.
A lot, a lot, a lot. A lot has changed from that Fatima that came in to the one that is sitting right here today. In fact, even from the one that was there yesterday, as coach will say, you are not a tree, move. So I'm growing. Even when I started watching my intentional parenting journey alone, I have transformed from when the series started. So it is just one after the other, one after the other. But I will start with myself personally. I have evolved. Personal development, I always, that's I think if I were to put it in a reframed way, I would say the first year for me in the Inner Circle, I gained self-awareness. The self-awareness, I was still making a lot of mistakes, but I was calling myself to action. I was able to identify them. So it gave me that, how do you even say, that exposure, that knowledge, the wisdom to keep, extending grace to myself and to work on myself non-stop. Like it's never too late. There's so much that the Inner Circle has given me, even the confidence to be here speaking with you right now. For me, I think to be honest, before Inner Circle, I will be trembling. Like to speak, I will be shivering. Speaking is not my area of strength. I'm a writer. I can sit behind it. I will write. When I write, I can put my thoughts more in typing. But when I came here, coach will tell us, we are not defined by who we are right now. You can move from where you are to another point. You can work on yourself. You can improve, not just on your child. I came here for my kids, but I found myself on this journey. I came here to find how to, I thought it was just something that they will tell you, okay, do this for your child, and your child will start doing this, do this for your child. I did not know it was for me. By the time, the first few months in the inner circle you come, it is only, everything is addressed to you. From connect to connect, you are giving you gbas, and you are like, is this me? Why am I the one being judged here? Why are we searching inward? Why are you looking for what is what I'm not looking for inside
What is
me?
not lost?
Yes, why is this not me that is the problem? And then so slowly and gradually we started to, the transformation started to happen. And even in the small percentage that I thought I put in last year, so I'll be specific because I am a storyteller. I love to tell stories. So I don't want to miss out all of these really interesting stories. The first thing that hit me last year was the creating the family values and, the family media plan. That was that was the highlight of my entire last year. So, and then I put in the work within that first few months. And that work that I put in, that was the achievement that I was able to make, because towards the end of the year, I fell out, a lot of things happened. But then I started to see the results around that period that I started falling out. The results of the family media plan that we created at the beginning. So I turned 40 last year, and my husband gave me a trip to Paris as my birthday gift. So it was a solo trip. I went alone. Yes, and I left my kids with him. I had a very good nanny and all of that. So I went for that trip. When I was on my way back, when I started to see notifications, my daughter was liking my post on Facebook, and I was like, Facebook, what is going on? So I calmed down, nothing happened. I calmed all the way down. I did not start overreacting and calling my husband as I would have done from before. What is she doing? No, I did not do anything. I came home. They welcomed me. I didn't want to ruin the whole, everyone missed me. I came back and settled in. The following day, I called my daughter. I said, what happened? I saw you on Facebook. What was going through your mind? And then we had this talk. There was no scolding, nothing. And then she explained to me that all of her classmates were on Facebook, this, that. And that was what prompted her. But before I even got to, this, she said, but mommy, immediately I downloaded it, and immediately I, signed in and did everything. I regretted it. I knew it was not part of what, the values, and I deleted it. Which, true to be told, she did. Well, I didn't notice. Me, I only saw those notifications, and I had already concluded, not knowing that even before I called her, she had already deleted it. And then we had this talk, and we talked about it. We went through our media plan. We talked about, I listed all the things the offense that she committed here. She lied because they asked, how old did you say you were? That means you lied about your age, because definitely if you are under, she was 11. Yes, she was 11 then. So that means you must have lied about your age. You see that you have committed cyber crime there. I listed all of those things that we've also discussed before, from the sex educate your child like a pro courses and all of that, about, digital safety and all of that. And then we went to our family media, we looked through it, and we discussed it all over again. But I was so proud of myself, and I was proud of her, that even after she had done what she did, she was able to, think back and realize that this thing does not align with me. I was able to also see some things, because, God doesn't just bring some problems to you. This is my belief. He brings something, what you need to know, so that you'll be able to solve that solution right there, right there. So I was able to realize that she thinks in her mind, those her colleagues were her friends. So I educated her that those are not your friends. I called her friends, the ones that I know that are aligned with what we do, even though they are not Muslims. I said, I called this one's name. Does she have Instagram or Facebook? She said no. I said, the other one, does she? I said, those are your friends. Those are your friends. You see, these ones, they're your classmates. We're able to differentiate that. I was also able to guide her through the process of just understanding that deleting that account doesn't mean that it is not still there. So we went step by step. Thankfully, I am also, I am also a social media person, and I know all this. So I took her on the process of deactivating. We deleted everything she posted one by one, and then we deactivated the account. And I knew she was looking at me and she was like, wow, my mom, my mom is not something, she's full of wisdom. And it was just one of the things that was like the highlight of my entire year last year. And I have 3 kids. For my son on the autism spectrum, I didn't join because of him. I joined because of my daughter, because I felt the connection was not there with her, which is based on some of the things that, yes, I have learned that, I've taken responsibility from what I have learned from they are mostly partly my fault because of, I didn't know any better at that time. So a lot of things happened when she was little. The time I was supposed to be able to build that connection with her, it wasn't there. And then by the time I joined Inner Circle, I had lost it. So I came here seeking for how to reconnect with my daughter, and I got beyond what I came looking for. For my son on the autism spectrum, I didn't even realize some of these things, although I was already doing most of these things intentionally with him, but I didn't realize that even my other kids needed these same things that I'm also putting him through. I came in like, it's just like I was just like a car. I have the car, I have the engine, but the fuel, I do not have enough fuel to power the car to move. That is how I define myself from where I was coming and where I am, because it is the Inner Circle that was fueling that, what I already had. It was pumping it. So when I get stuck, I get to a point whereby the idea is there, what to do is there, but I don't know how to go about it. Inner Circle is constantly giving me the how. Before you know it, Coach Wendy has dropped one voice message, and I will find the answer to what I'm looking for inside. I'm like, there's always something that I used to think. I said, this Coach Wendy said, I don't know whether she's always inside some of my spirits, because I will be thinking about something or doing something, or I will have done something yesterday with my kids to the voice notes, and then I will say, Coach Wendy just said something like this, and sometimes it's just like, wow, how did these things connect? How is it even happening? But when God puts, that thing in your heart, and then sometimes also, when you love and respect and you appreciate someone so much, you will begin to see a part of that person also inside you. So for me, it's just a lot. Personally, myself, there's just a lot. I speak up now. I'm no more that person that sits in the back. I'm a backbencher from primary school, secondary, university, backbencher. You will never hear me say, Pim, ask question. I will be waiting when somebody complain. I will not complain. Even with my children's PTA, what do you call it? I will go there and sit there until when another parent sit down and stands up and say, and this, and then I'll say, yeah, I think that's the former me. But me now, I don't sit in the back. I am going there. Once they are, I'm asking questions. I'm sending in. I'm calling for meetings. Remember, I was doing this, but I was not doing it from a place of knowledge, wisdom. But now I am doing it confidently. There's no doubt, because I am seeing it happening. Coach has, he's showing us constantly that it works. I am seeing people's life every day, how it is being transformed. I'm like, why would my own not work? It will work. Oh. It will work. So I could go on and on. In my marriage, it's giving me that, that's, how do I even call it? That ability to extend grace to my husband. He's always working and all of that. We sit down, my coach will tell us that we take a lot of negativity, and it's easy to write ourselves in negativity. So if you continue seeing negative, and before you can recover from that negativity, it will take so much. So why not, pull in the positive things? And then so from the journaling, so what I did, I started to do is all the things that my husband does, the good things, the things that I like, whenever he does it, I journal it. I journal it and put it to one side. I journal. So when those other things are coming, those other things that I don't like are coming, I go back to those other things, and it fuels that this thing. Like, you know what? He's not that bad. Some things are happening to him. He's probably stressed out, and then I'm able to also calm down. I'm able to just sit down, because sometimes I'm very patient. I'm very quiet. But when that's my patience, this thing, when it blows like this, I will just be giving everything. I will just be hot everywhere. But I'm learning to listen to myself, to calm, and just be able to give everybody, be empathetic towards everyone in whatever we are doing. So those are some of the things that has transformed in my life since I joined Inner Circle.
Thank you so much. Amazing. Imagine how it is for someone to travel, have the knowledge, the worldwide knowledge that it is that you're supposed to have. You earn all the professional degrees, and you're still at the back. You actually know what it is you want to do. You know how to say it, though. You know how to actually, put it into writing to actually make it make sense. But you lack the you see, back. People, a lot of time we used to we underrate confidence until you are in the position where you are supposed to take charge and do something, come out, speak, and you don't have just one thing that was supposed to be. It's not like you don't know what to say, but you lack confidence.
Yeah.
You see, transformation is not about becoming someone else. It is not. Transformation is about becoming who God already saw you when He called you to be a mother. Inner circle, coming into the inner circle now has now redefined your personality and made everything whole for you. All because you came to seek to knowledge on how to raise your children. And now you realize, oh, it is actually me. It is for me.
Yeah.
It is about becoming that person God saw you to be. When He called you and said, be a mother, parent these children. You are parenting a generation. You don't know. Parent these children, and it just begins to make sense for your own personality. You just now realize that in as much as I can put these things into writing, in as much as I know what it is I want to do, I still lack one thing to actually put them in place. And coming into the inner circle made everything align. Inner circle will help you align your parenting with a defined picture of what it is you are supposed to be, to who you are supposed to be, and then who your children, it extends to your haba. Thank you so much, ma. Thank you so much. That was so powerful. I mean, that was it for me. This practical aspect, these practical terms, you just drifted out one after the other, have actually connected the whole dots. For me, it have actually connected. At first, when you were coming in, it was a place of, what are they doing? I know what I can do it now. And then you come in, and then you begin to see, and then it begins to make sense. Everything begins to align. And if you're just joining us, you are here and you're joining us, you're listening, you're seeing Mrs. Fatima Giwa all the way from Ireland, and she's been able to share in practical terms how and what the inner circle has turned her life to be, how it is today. Ma, please, as someone who runs the parenting autism with FG, how has the inner circle impacted the way you lead? And even as the way you coach other parents, especially those raising children with special needs. I know the inner circle, yes, you said you did not come for your child who has your child with special needs, you came for your daughter. But then coming into the inner circle have really made the pictures more beautiful. I want to know, how has the inner circle added to that? What has the inner circle added to that? Over to you, ma.
Thank you so much for that question, Efisinachi. So, I coach moms that have children with autism spectrum, and this particular was a drive. It was driven by the passion, my passion, based on my own journey. So when I started with my son, remember I told you that I was already on the intentional parenting journey, and mostly with my son. I was mostly on with my son. So most of the things like the daily tools and all of that are things that I have been doing with this boy. Remember, it is him that I focused more on because I felt like he was the one that needed all of that. So when my son was diagnosed at 2, he had no speech. He could not use his hands to do anything. He cannot even pick anything. and you could not understand anything. So there was no comprehension, no speech, no fine motor skills. So after we did all of the evaluations and I started, with him, before my son's diagnosis, I've been very active on social media. I am passionate. I love to share. I cannot sit on knowledge and not share it. If I know something, I share it. I share my own experiences also. Like I said, my dad put in something that I don't know how to explain, but there was something buried in me about, experience sharing and impacting and leaving that legacy. So he used to say, experience is the best teacher. And that thing has stuck so much with me that I used to share my experience. So when I started, slowly, I didn't come out immediately, but we share a little bit about my journey. And also at some point when I started working through that self-discovery, and I realized that, why not go into these things to see how many other months you can help? You've been on this journey, you've been doing this thing, and this is how far you have come with your child. And I had to work with a personal coach and all of that. But the day I put out my introduction post as I started out advocating and all of that. After putting out the post, I went and entered under blanket and buried myself because I was so scared. Yes, I was so scared. But I came out and saw massive responses. My DM was full with parents in similar situations. They do not have who to share it with. They do not have they're not seeing people like them on the social media space. And so for me, that was where the passion, every drive started to these people need help. Many of them, I noticed they were just like, they have given up on the child without even trying. They have given up. They say they don't have support. There's no resources. There's no special needs. There's no speech therapy. I did not have all of that. Newsflash, I did not have all of that. Even here in Cape Verde. Cape Verde is a small island, is a small country. As a small island, we do not have many of those resources. And to make matters worse, it's a Portuguese-speaking country. English is not their first language. So you can imagine how challenging it was for me. So I had no choice but to be there for my son. I will read to him every day. We will do 30 minutes, floor time every single day. Sometimes I put all of them together and we will work on things. We will do picture, we do all of those things, flashcards, repeatedly. And I started to see changes. So I already saw some of those. So that's why I already saw the impact of some of the tools that coach is sharing. It was already working for me and my son. I knew it, but I did not have the validation. So when I came and I saw and I said, no, this thing that I've been doing is working. I have to continue doing it. So that was how I was now able to start calling on people, community. I was able to build a community. I started coaching people. I started guiding them. Some people don't even, have to sign up for my coaching. Even from the things that I share on my journey with my son, they are picking. I have some people that if I share anything like this, they are implementing and they are seeing results. And they are coming to me and they are sending. So the testimony starts to come in. They are seeing people that have given up on the child ever, either talking or the child ever doing anything. And I give them this structure. I say, do this and do this, do this and do this. You will see. If you're able to build the consistency, it has worked for me. I'm not the most, how do I even say, the most, I don't know how to put it. Those that knew me, like my siblings, my cousins, they'll be like, who is this Fati? Where is this strength coming from? But I had no choice. It's either I also sit down and fold my hand and do nothing, and I watch my son grow without any conscience at all, without any understanding. And I was bent not to do that. I told myself, I said that, this boy, I will do whatever it takes so that people will see my son and say, look, my child is on the autism spectrum, but I want to be able to get to where Fatima Giwa and her son are today. And that was my biggest why. But I also didn't want to do it alone. I want other parents with children to not give up on their child. I want them to believe that there's something special about that God gave them this child because there was a reason for it. I want them to see that if I can do it, remember, I'm not the most active, the most strongest, the most this thing. I'm the soft life. People that know me, soft life, I cannot be troubled for anything. Don't stress me, please. If I can do it, yes. If I can do it, then you can do it. My son now, he can read. when I discovered my son could read at 6 years old, and how did he learn to read? He memorized the books that we've been reading, because we had a certain number of books that we used to read every night. Every night when we finish praying our Isha prayers, we sit on the mat, we do some activities, we do pretend play, we do songs, we do all those things that coach is sharing it. We've been doing them. And one day I was reading to my son, and I saw him mouthing words. Then I paused. So I will read one sentence, I will read one word, then I will pause. Then he will fill in the blank. And that was how we started. That was how I discovered my son could read at 6. Remember, I started this activity with him from maybe 3 or before 3. I think I started doing it consistently with him from the age 3. Some things that we will do it for like 2-3 years before we see results. That's the difference between the child on the autism spectrum and the neurotypical children. You can do it with them, small time they will learn. But this one, you have to be doing repetition. I could go on and on the number of things that we've been able to achieve. My son can read Quran. A lot of parents, especially Muslim parents, they think that because the child is autistic, they don't even bother. Even to me, to be honest, I did not bother. But because of we were reading it around him, I was teaching his sister. This boy was memorizing everything. One day, I just carried my Quran. This boy started reading one of the verses, and I'm like, what is going on here? Even though the accent wasn't clear, but I could understand what he was saying.
Yes.
So immediately I realized that I understood his learning language, he memorizes, and then I made use of that. So we do a lot of listening. I put a lot of audio in the house, and then this boy the Quran that is in his head now, even my other kids, they don't have it. He memorizes everything. He can read. He's 10 years old now. He can read in English. He can read in Portuguese language. His comprehension is still not there, but he understands to some level. He has grown to become independent. And like I said, Inner Circle is fueling me every day to keep on, putting those challenges, putting it also to him. Because if it was left to me, there were some things that I was really scared about. My son now takes out the trash. Yes, he takes out the trash, and it's not just outside the door. He will walk over to like 5 minutes. He will take out the trash. His own egg. When I started teaching him, all thanks to the tools in the Inner Circle. When we are to do cooking competition, to do this, and we also call him even when he's not interested. Now, all I need to say is that you want egg, come and make your egg. He doesn't break the egg and splash it anymore. He's able to break the egg. He will mix. He will add salt. He can fry plantain because he loves plantain. And we are still just really, improving on those things. What about the puzzles? I've almost given up on puzzles. Before, when I bring out puzzles like this boy will be throwing tantrums and be crying. But the tools will bring us back. So I started buying small puzzles. I would buy 9 pieces. I started slowly growing it. At some point, I bought one that was like, I spent money on all of those things. I bought one that was very like a mat. He loved that one so much. So I saw that the interest was now coming. The other day I saw him, I just put a puzzle on the table. I don't even say anything. This boy just come and he just put in puzzles. Now he's doing 104 pieces of puzzles on his own. I can go on and on to so many things that I know that if Inner Circle was not fueling this thing with me, I would have given up at some point. Because there was a time I got to a time that I'm tired. I want to focus on myself. I've done with this boy since when everything autism. I'm carrying autism. But with what I am seeing, the things that I cannot go back. So it's helping me to, as I'm coaching my clients, I'm doing the work, they are seeing the results, and I'm also sharing it with them. So when they are seeing it as it's working with me, it's also coming back to me at the same time. It's helping me how I see Coach Wendy leading. As a leader, it's helping me to be a better version. I'm still working so much on myself because I am not up to 1% of what Coach Wendy, but I am learning. I see how she shows up consistently. When I want to go and there are days, because it's not like the money is coming in it's not. But it's not about the money. Coach will say, just, give the value, do it, everything at its own time. Sometimes I'll be like, I'm not doing this coaching thing anymore. But then something will just happen. The thing will come back again because when your why is too strong. I said, these people, they need me. They need to see me. They need to see more moms like doing this thing. Because if not, if we give up on we will not see our children, majority of people will just tag these children, autistic children, they will just tag them a nuisance to the society. And it will now be like it is about autism. It is not about autism. It is about what you instill on the child. My son understands consequences now. He understands consequences, anything. And we make sure that, we are clear on rules and regulations. Repeatedly, we do a lot of repetition. We do a lot of repetition. My 5-year-old daughter, oh my God, that one is TIP baby. Since she was 3, you will see she dresses the bed. She's always wanting to do things. Like, she's very active. Now she's washing dishes. She's also making eggs. The other day she made eggs unsupported, only her. She break the egg, she do everything, she makes it. She spilled some milk. So the other day I was so tired. I was just on the couch. And I didn't even know what to do. Mommy, don't worry. She just went and carried mopping stick. I don't even know how to explain what happened. She cleaned this thing without me lifting a finger. And I was like, wow. We did that, she dressed her bed. She even folded and all. If you do the work, these things are not happening by miracle, because I'm also putting my sweat. I'm investing my time to instill these things in these children. So that is also there. So it's making me a better leader. It makes me to be a listener. It's making me to see more of my capabilities than I ever imagined. So every day I'm here, whether I'm within my community, I don't even know how to explain. So many things are just, are just falling into place. And I just tell myself that I cannot be anywhere else but be here in the inner circle.
Thank you so much. I mean, listening to you have become an inspiration on your own alone. And speaking of the thing, say you couldn't do it, you were discouraged. At some point, you get tired, you can't continue, you can't just do it. But because of the fueling from the inner circle program, you see what community can do. You see what belonging in a place that strengthens you, that encourages you, that pushes you to become. And the beautiful part is when God keeps refining you, he doesn't just change your story. Your story doesn't just change. And speaking of the part where you said you dropped you wrote something on Facebook and then you left it and then you went off. You did not have the courage. But when you came back, you saw how it had become a beacon for so many people. God doesn't just change your story. He doesn't just refine you. He doesn't just refine you and leave you like that. He doesn't just change your story. He uses your story to change others. You become an inspiration. Come on now. You become an inspiration to other parents, to other people. People will come to you and they get their revelation from you, all because you have a place. Auntie Wura said they don't know where they are doing us. It is in the inner circle. You have a place where they are doing you, where they are giving you all that it is for you to become that inspiration for other parents. From her journey, others can now learn. From her journey, others can now get strength. She's getting it from the inner circle, but other parents are coming to her to come and rest. She's not becoming a shoulder for others. She's not becoming an inspiration. She's not becoming an encourager. That's what God does. Inner circle refines you. Come on. Inner circle refines you. When it refines you,
Absolutely.
it doesn't just change your story for you to just be like that. It uses your story to change other parents. That's what inner circle does. You can't be a yada and you come across anybody and you don't transform their life. No way.
No,
You can't
no,
be a yada. You can't get this mountain of fire. You can't get this mantle from the inner circle, and then you don't see yourself spreading it. That is what light does. When you tap from this
absolutely.
light, when you get this light, you see that you become the light for other people to see road from.
Absolutely.
It radiates. It's something that radiates. God uses you to change other people. So the strength and the structure you gain from the inner circle program. Come on. The strength, the structure, the tools you get from the inner circle program becomes a ministry. You use it to stand in as a ministry on your own. You become the voice for other people. Even in every day of your life, every day as you stand out, as you speak out, as you interact with people, you see yourself becoming that light that shines for every other parent around you. That's what the inner circle does. From your story, ma, I've been able to see that you are already a light. You are the light. You are the light in where you said where I stay, Cape Verde, that it is not a big city, but yes, parents in your environment can now see that it's doable. Other persons, they were giving up. They were thinking that it's not doable. Autism. How am I supposed to do this? How am I supposed to? But from you, they have been able to see that it is something that is doable. You have seen how the inner circle tools have transformed not just you, but your child. You've been able to share in practical terms how that child has turned out today. That is what light from the inner circle does. That is what it does. You alone, as you stand alone, as you come in, you're already a ministry for other nations. You're already a ministry. Raising your children alone, you're already a ministry. Standing for that nation. Your children is a nation. You're standing for them. You're standing for other parents around you. You're standing for your entire family. You're standing for your generation. That is what the inner circle does. Thank you so much, ma'am. That was so powerful and that was so profound. And ma'am, I want to know, what would you say are your 3 top webinars, 3 top books from the inner circle program that have made a mark on you? The 3 top webinars, the 3 top books that have left a shift in your life. Over to you, ma'am.
That's going to be a hard one. But on top of my list will be skill of extra. The one from last year, it was when I was watching the one from, because I can be very forgetful sometimes. I'm still picking up habits of my journaling and all of that. But I remember when I was watching the one for this year, I now remembered that it was the one from last year that did something in me, that I was able to accept the team lead responsibility when I was given to when I was given to at the beginning of the year. Because when I saw my name as team lead, not just team lead of subgroup, the entire cohort, I'm like, did Coach Wendy make mistake? Backbencher like me. What am I looking for leading somebody? Where is the confidence? Why me? I was asking myself, why me? But then, that voice was just like, you know what? If it was Coach Wendy that chose you, then there's a reason for it. And I remember during that webinar where she talked about, she really attacked us, those backbenchers, all the backbenchers will know. So the thing, we felt it so much, like you will be in the back observing and all of that until you start to know. So that thing spoke to me. And immediately I took rest. I said, I'm not going to run away. I'm not going back. And I took the role without knowing this is the first time I will be leading anything like this, like me, leader, how. And so I took it on. I don't know how I was going to do it, but I know that. So I will find a way around it. Remember, I'm a troubleshooter. I observe, and I'm very good at observing and troubleshooting. So that's one of my biggest skills. So I took on that responsibility because of that webinar. Even the one that this year is like something is always happening after coaching, either the webinar or the voice notes, that it will just come at the right time. And you will just feel like, did coach know that this thing is going to happen to me? So the skills of extra webinar again this year, the day, in fact, I couldn't attend because it was on my wedding and my 15th wedding anniversary. So I came in, I watched a little bit, but the little bits that I watched, I picked up something from it. And Coach Wendy will always say, whatever it is, whatever you attend, take one thing at a time and run with it. At that moment, I didn't even know that I was picking up something, because it was just like, I joined for like 15 minutes and I went and I came back. We went for a lunch with my husband and I came back. When I came back, I was typing a message. Coach also teaches us gratitude, and gratitude is also something that has always been part of me. So with that fuel also, there's no how you will not remember to be grateful. So I was typing something later that day. I was typing my gratitude message to my husband. When I heard Coach's voice from that webinar, that same webinar I listened to that morning, that I listened to for just 10 minutes, when Coach was saying that we should not use bots to cancel gratitude. I had finished typing, thank you for today, thank you for blah, 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 blah. I had put bots. I just caught myself like, but where? What is botting? Let bots stay in one side. Don't ruin it. I can come back another day and give him my feedback or criticism on what I did not like that he did or something, but I should not ruin that bot. So immediately I canceled it and I just sent the appreciation, the gratitude message to my husband. And it made a huge difference, because I imagine, what if I had not joined that webinar that day? I would have missed this message, because there is nothing happens ordinarily. Nothing happens ordinarily. God puts those things for you at the time when you needed it the most. Just like you said earlier on, it brings it and it puts it. And for me, it made a lot of difference. Now, Seasons of Life also, Coach Omolala, oh my goodness, that one came to me at the time I needed it the most. Last year was very rough for me and my family, because my son couldn't get a school here that would take him as a child on the autism spectrum. Some schools rejected him because he used to have a lot of meltdowns, he used to cry a lot of things. So we had to, the only option was for me, I troubleshoot. So from my troubleshooting, I found another school that could support him in another island. That's like in another state, for those who do not understand how the islands work. So that's like from here. So that's like Lagos and Abuja. So imagine we're in Abuja now, and I found another school for him in Lagos. It was a very difficult decision for me, but I had to take him, because I had already homeschooled him for 1 year before that, because I couldn't put him in school. But he was missing out on a lot of things. I saw him regressing on all the work I had built in the past. So I had no choice. So I said, okay, I discussed with my husband that this is the only option that we had. So we had to go there. And a lot of things were happening. My business, I was not able to give in so much to my coaching this year. So, and I was feeling myself, like as if I was not doing enough. That's, Seasons of, I was able to realize that, what, this is not the season. Just, take that step, use it, become from it. And I became from that period, because me and my son that went to that island and stayed there for 9 months alone, leaving my other kids and my husband here. The two of us did not come back the same. The two of us did not come back the same. We transformed. My son became very independent. I was like, who is this? Because he knows that it was just me and you. So he was also being aware. He knew that there was no helper, no sister, nobody. And his sisters, even let me not go to that bailing out, the boy you don't need to raise. That one also. His sisters are always bailing him out. So there was no bailing. I saw my son's ability. He was, before I said Jack, this boy is helping me to carry 10 liters of water. Somebody that could not use his hands when he was 3. He will help me carry water. Before I even say Jack, he would do things by himself. He regressed when we came back here, but I made sure that I stood on him, because I know that you can do these things. Because when we came back, he wanted to start showing that they will do it for me. They will do it for me. No, I did not allow him. I said, I saw you. I saw that's you over there. That's the same one. And then I stuck to it. So all of these things for me, it was just, they were all happening from the things that I'm picking from these webinars. Another webinar was the financial literacy. I can't remember the names of but yes. And which other webinar? Sex Educate Your Child like a pro. That one is a course, but that one I am lifetime subscription. If there is anything like that, if it's an artist, send it to me and sign me up. Lifetime subscription for Sex Educate Your Child like a course. Because when I joined, that year I joined. The following year, last year, I did not do. I was, I told you I was still judging. I was like, what is it? Shebi, I did this last year. Hey, when I came this year, I was like, so this thing is advancing, is growing, and I'm sitting down here. When Coach Ebuka was pointing out some words like that, and then I was hearing all those things, I said, no, I'm not missing this I'm not missing this course again. I could go on and on. But almost all the webinars, this is also me celebrating my wins this year. I attended virtually every webinar this year, despite how things were happening. I attended every webinar. Also, this is from me being a leader, because I realized that as a leader, I had the role of leading to impact those that are behind me. And Coach always says some of these things in her voice note. The voice notes, I have not missed one voice note because of those quotes that I create every day. When I started it this year, it's the most consistent thing I have ever done, I think, in my life. Because every day, Monday to Friday, I must listen to voice notes, I must read wisdom notes, I must attend webinar, because I have to create that quote. And I had already started, and I would text myself, why will you not finish it? So even when it is 11 a.m., I'm not able to do it. I must do it before I sleep. I will listen and create the codes, and I share. And I see a lot of people, asking me, "Are you the one that creates this code?" I say, "Yes, I do it every day. I do it." It makes me to show up, because if I'm showing up for the webinar, my members are also seeing me. They're also seeing that I'm leading. They're also following my footsteps. I also noticed something that happened, because I say I'm very observant. By June, I noticed some backbenchers in my cohort were commenting and engaging. And my cohorts, one day, we are not quiet. I also have a combination of good people, as in community, that are always, so I don't feel like I'm alone sharing. There are some, you will be sharing and you'll be feeling like, as if this woman is, Awala is too much, because nobody is reacting, or, but I share. I share more than I've ever shared before. So as I'm sharing, you will see somebody will come and say, this thing you have shared is encouraging me to share my own. And then you now see, before you know it, I started seeing more members commenting, sharing, coming out of their shells, and there's just nothing that will make you not to be happy about that. So it is the whole transformation from the books. I think the books, Connect to Connect has to be one of my best. And I'm still struggling with reading, by the way. I'm still struggling with reading. Yes, I'm still struggling with reading, but I love the fact that even if I'm not able to finish one book, the book review gives me the this thing. So I don't even feel like I did not read the book, because I try as much as possible. Also, like I say, as a leader, I try. Sometimes I'm not able to, but I try to also be present in the book reviews. So all of these things, resolving sibling rivalry. Oh my goodness, that one is for everybody. It's a book that carries a message for the entire generation of family, from grandpa to grandma to uncles to aunties to sister. Everybody collected their own inside this book. And I was able to, even the course also, and the webinar also, was able to, that webinar that coach delivered, I was numb at the end of the webinar, because I didn't even know where I want to start healing all the grievances and forgiving all of all of those things. But it is all part of the becoming. So these books really made a lot of difference. Raising that boy, you don't need to bail. When I started reading that book, because I have only one boy and he's on the autism spectrum, I would have just said that, what is it now? There's nothing that is going to work for me, because my son is autistic. But no, I read it, and it was from those things that I read there that fueled my destiny to, like, you know what? I keep challenging him to do certain things, and I'm surprised at the things that this boy is able to do. If I did not read this book, the sisters will still be bailing him out. My 5-year-old, she's a bailer. I've been warning her. She's my TIP baby. She's the number one bailer. Even to paint, she will paint for him. So me and her, we are always having this discussion that you cannot continue bailing him. You cannot continue bailing him. My 12-year-old, when she used to bail him, when I introduced him to washing dishes before I joined Inner Circle, he was 7 when I started introducing him to dishwashing. And then one day, she will be bailing him. She will say, "Mommy, but he cannot do it. But he cannot do it. He will just be." I said to her, "Are you going to be washing plates for him for the rest of your life?" She could not talk again. And that was the end of the discussion. Now they are teaming up. They are washing plates together. The resolving sibling rivalry also opened my eyes to so many things. The loopholes that have been happening in my house, science, especially my 12-year-old and my 5-year-old. Oh my goodness, we are still working on it, but it has given me the tools to be able to create a structure. So we've started implementing some of those things, small. We are not there yet, but I shared with my team the other day. I said I'm coming in soon to share the testimony of resolving this, because the rivalry and everything is just I don't even know how to explain. So all of these books have helped me to be able to connect to correct. Oh, my daughter, my 12-year-old, the one that I came here because of her. She's that child that will not talk. I told you that I'm responsible. I must have broken her at the time that I needed to connect with her. So by the time I started doing the work, I realized that, so I needed to connect, and then we were doing some of the tools and all of that. And before then, my daughter was the one that when I picked them up for school, how's everything? What do you need? Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. I printed this thing. Coach gave us 20 questions to ask your child instead of how was it. I printed it. I have it in one of my journals. I carry it around. When I'm stuck, I will look at it. Before I knew it, by the time I went to the other island to stay, I forgot to mention that I had reached out to Coach Wendy before going to that, with my kids. And I reached out to Coach Wendy that I'm doubting whether to sign up for this year because I will not be available with my kids. And Coach said, try to leverage on technology. And she encouraged me. And I was like, okay. And I love that's another thing that I learned from Coach is how responsive she is. I learned to be patient when I send message to people now. When I send message to people, I give them the grace. I give them time to respond. I can stay 2 weeks patiently waiting for Coach Wendy because I know she will respond. But I will not be mad that she took 2 weeks because I cannot imagine 1,001 or over 1,000 yarders each sending message each day. I don't even know how to do it. Shout out Coach Wendy. May God bless you in everything that you do. You are, I don't even know how to say, more than a coach. You are like I don't know, I've already adopted you. We are sisters, so and mentor, and So for me, by the time I was there, a lot of things that were not the communication, but I had already done those work that I did before I went to that island. I was seeing the results. It wasn't 100%, but this same daughter that will say, fine, I will not talk anything. We went from everything is fine to, Mommy, did you know what happened yesterday? Mommy, did you know what happened yesterday? Even when I'm not asking, I'm not prompting, she will come and tell me things. She will tell me things, even the things that many parents cannot, discuss with their children. She will tell me the things that is happening in her class, what her classmates are doing, and stuff like that. And that insight will be able to give me how to handle the things, how to take up the matter. I've been able to handle 2 things make 2 serious impacts in her school, just within this year alone. And what I will share is one of the biggest one that made me proud was, I don't know which webinar also that Coach talked about. There was a month we talked about bullying and all of that. I can't remember. Standing up for bullying. I never knew what is standing up for bullying. I didn't even know it was a thing that, bystander, not standing up, bystander in bullying. I didn't even know it was a thing. You just see something happening and you just walk by, concern me. But it also has an effect. So when with that, we had the conversation. My daughter is always, standing up for kids in her class and all of that. But there was one particular girl that was always being bullied. And my daughter would come and tell me. It got to a point some months ago, I could not take it anymore. I searched and I found the mom's number. I actually were acquaintances with the mom, not very close, but I called the mom. I said, we need to talk. And I explained everything to her. The mother said yes, that her daughter also said it, but she did not realize that it was to this extent. From that discussion, the mom, I also educated her about, sex education, because some of the kids also in the class sometimes are also going through inappropriate media, and they are using the school internet website. So I had 2 issues to deal with, and I needed it to be solved because I cannot be doing the work in my house and you people are ruining it. And remember, I live in an island. We don't have a lot of choices of schools and a lot of things. So there is not even, so it's either I do the work or I leave, or we leave this place completely, which right now is not it. So I had to, synthesize the environment as well. So at the end of the conversation with this mom, she went home, spoke to her husband about it. The next day, they were in the school. Tabling this matter. For the first time, this woman has been tabling this matter to the school that they have not taken. For the first time, they took action. They sent an email to everyone. They sent emails. They called the attention of parents. And since then, this girl the bullying has subsided a lot. And the following week, the girl came, hugged my daughter, and told my daughter to say thank you to her mom. And I felt emotional. And I imagined if I had kept quiet, what would have happened to this girl? This is just an 11-year-old girl who has nothing but people, everyone just had everything against her. And to a bully. And that is just one of those powerful moments. If it is not from the webinar, I don't joke with the webinars anymore. The voice notes, I don't joke with them. The books, like I said, I'm still struggling, but even that, I have almost all the books now. Last year, I didn't have the books. Now I have all the books. I'm still expecting. Nowadays, I'm not always looking for who is coming from Nigeria to bring Gari and Amala. I'm looking for who is bringing my books. I'm looking for who is bringing my books. So, you know, so it's just, the transformation is in everything that you are listening to. Even if you are there, I remember Coach Mary when he said one day in one of, she said, even if you are sitting down just observing, something is happening in you, and it's very true. Even in that moment where you feel like you are not doing anything, something is happening. So, and I mentioned 2 issues in my daughter's school. The second one, this one just happened just some days ago, when I've been telling them about the inappropriate things that children are viewing with the school internet on their computer, because now they are using digital. Yeah, she's in college, everything is digital. And the teachers don't know, but my teacher will tell me these things are not, and she's not comfortable with it. And you know, there's a limit to how much she'll be able to control. She's a child. It will get to a point where if it becomes too much, how can she not succumb? It's hard to say. So I went to the school. I've gone there twice to talk to them about, you know, putting parental, what do you call it? What do you call those things? The word is not, but at least, you know, protecting, you know, just something to protect the sites. I've lost the word for it, but you know what I'm saying, that will allow, will block certain sites. Yes, you know, it's a very simple solution. They can access all their educational platforms, but some certain sites should be blocked. I've gone there twice to address it verbally. They did not take action. Then I sat down on Monday. I wrote an email, a formal email. I said, this one, I want to write it so that they will have evidence that I sent it, because sometimes verbal is not enough. When you write something and you send it to them, no how, even if the director doesn't read, everybody has access to it. So it will reach somebody at the end of the day. And then I saw a reply. She said, thank you, madam. We are working. She will talk to the IT person that they are going to make sure that they put parental this into it. And I told her that I need a feedback from her to be sure that when this is done. And she responded that once it is done, she's going to let me know. And I felt happy that yes, at least even if they have not done it, she has given me the assurance that the IT personnel is going to do something about it to block those websites from the kids. I don't think, if I am not in this community, I don't think I will I will just sit down and be waiting for one parent to also complain before they meet. I will say, yes, my daughter has been saying this, and no, I'm not doing that. I'm not that parent anymore. And this is just one of the many. Before I came on, I told you, I said, you guys, I hope that we have enough time, because a story plenty here. There's so much. Can I talk about the journaling? The way Coach Wendy will be subtly putting journaling in your head. I'm still not good at journaling. I journal mostly because, you know, I write. So most times I'm doing more digital. Also for my posts, sometimes when I do my writings on my posts, for me, it's like a form of therapy for me. So I do a lot of writing. So by the time I'm doing my posts, I've shared, you know, my handle on this is Fatima Giwa shares, because I just had to accept that thing, because I was holding it back that I like to share. Why is it a bad thing to share? Why is it a bad thing to share? So I put that in my name so that I will be confident in it, that yes, I love sharing and there's nothing wrong with it. It's not like as if I share every single thing, which some people might think, but hey, that's not, I share what I feel people need to hear. And that's why even when I joined Inner Circle, I was like, how is it possible that nobody has shared about Coach Wendy? All of this here, me that I'm like the senior, what do I ever say, on social media. How is it that I did not see Coach Wendy or TIP? So for me, I share a lot. I share so much because I know that someone, somewhere, and at the end of my post or anything, you will see people in my DM telling me how it made them feel. You will see people telling me that, oh, thank you for sharing this thing today. I'm absolutely up on you going through something like this. And, it just gets them somewhere. So I could go on and on about so many things that happen. I think I was talking about the journaling. This one is a very good story. I want to really share this one because journaling saved me from shame. It proved my innocence earlier this year. I've not shared this one. I've not even shared it anywhere on my social media platforms. This story I'm sharing here is exclusively, I'm sharing it with TIP. So when I was back in that island with my son was reacting to the change of environment. He was reacting to missing the whole family. You know how children on the autism, they have very difficulties adjusting to new environments, and change of routine affects them. So it was bad. It was very bad. My son was having meltdowns every day. Before I drop him in school like this, before I say, let me carry food to put in my mouth, I will hear call. He's throwing a meltdown. So eventually the teachers, I like that they were very supportive and they knew what they were doing. So they encouraged me to put my son on medication. My son has never been on medication. All these years, he has never been on medication. But this change was too much for him. His brain could not handle it. He was missing his sisters and his dad. And he could not express it verbally. Remember, he's still minimally verbal. So I sought, I sought help, and I spoke to specialists and they recommended the medications. We started the medication. And immediately I started the medication, I didn't even have anything. I created this journal from this jotter where I was journaling from day one of the day we started the medication on the 14th of February, 2025. So I was journaling. Every day I would write what I observed, I would write what I'm noticing and all of that. Until one day, he had this big meltdown in school, even with the medication. And the director, she doesn't know me because she has never had any one-on-one with me before. But the teachers know me. They know me for my abilities, my capability as a mom. But the admin and they don't know who I am. So imagine people that they've already judged me before I came because they've seen other autism parents not know anything about their children and do anyhow, but they have not met me, particularly. They have not met someone like me, they have not met. So something happened, there was a misunderstanding, and by the time I got there, the director was just giving me goals. She was just giving me this, that my son, he did this, he did that, she finished, and I was recovering from a panic attack. So I could not even talk that day. It was getting too much at me. But all in all, that I was giving this boy medication. At least she did not believe, that's the director, she did not believe that I was giving this boy medication. So she was telling me I should bring this, I should bring that, I should bring the prescription. You see the way she was talking to me, like as if I'm like a thief that is they are interrogating. I didn't say anything. Apart my panic attack and all of them, because like I said, I was not I was not okay emotionally, and I went home and I put everything, I printed out everything. I carried my journal. On Monday, it was on a Friday, on Monday, I showed up confidently, my best look. I came there and I sat down. As they started to give it to me, I started giving it to them. As she asked me this, I give her. She asked me that, I give her. Then when I started talking, by the time I finished talking, I saw that she has calmed down. I saw that look that she was looking at me before, she's not looking at me with admiration. She's already, shame has already catched up because the journal is here. And I note down everything that I noticed from the journal. And I was communicating with his doctor. Because in the initial level that we started the medication, the dose was too low and it was affecting him negatively. And that was why he was overreacting. He was reacting even worse than he was supposed to react. And slowly, by the time we moved up the dosage to where it was supposed to be, things now started coming down. But something happened that day I still cannot explain. From that day that I spoke, because I did not just go there, I advocated, I spoke for my son. I defended him, something shifted, even within the school environment that day. because that was the last time they picked up the phone to call me and say my son is having a meltdown. That was the last time. Anything, any problem, my son became very calm. Every day the teacher would send me positive. I'm like, what happened? Because my son he also saw how those moments, and he's also somebody that doesn't like to see me hurt. But he saw that I'm always there. I stood up for him. They saw that this boy, I believed so much in this one. They saw how I stood up, how I did. They saw that I came with knowledge and wisdom. So they started to treat him even more patiently. They started to follow some of the recommendations I gave them, and that was the change. Till we left that island. In fact, the director even came and hugged me the day they were doing the end of the year. But I was like, me, okay? But this is just one of the many things that, TIP and the Inner Circle has done for me. And I'm still running with it. I'm already in the 2026, waiting for 2026 to come. I'm not going anywhere, because how can I even be anywhere without? Well, how can my car move? My car cannot move. I need that fuel. That fuel needs to be there. So every time, even as I'm praying for God to grant, Coach Wendy long life, to give her good health, to be there to continue to impact us with those wisdom and continue to fuel that in us. Because without her showing up for us every day, I know sometimes it looks like we take it for granted, but some of us, we value it every day, and we are not verbally sharing it every day, but we are remembering Coach Wendy's name when we are talking to God. I feel like I'm over-talked.
No, ma, it is your journey, and we are so loving the journey so far. We are already blessed. I mean, it is how Inner Circle will always fuel you and equip you for times like this. Who would have thought? And you came ready. You came with the wisdom, and you came with the knowledge, because you already equipped yourself with the Inner Circle. Because Inner Circle is the place where they are doing you. That's where they are cooking you. And you showed up with knowledge. You see, it's amazing how God can use one teaching, just one teaching from the webinars from the Inner Circle program. And I know people here now, they will just be saying, is that all what the webinars can do? Yes, that's what the webinars does. That's what the books we read in the Inner Circle does. Sometimes it's not even the quantity of what we have learned, but the quality of the revelation that comes through through the teachings, through the Inner Circle webinars, through the books we read in the Inner Circle. That's what it does. It just completely shifts your home. It gives you the transformation, the knowledge you need for a time like this. And with Madam Giwa said, these books, Connect to Correct, Sibling Rivalry. Yes, we had the course. You can always catch replay if you want to take the course again. And Raising the Boy, you don't need to bail out. And Ma, you said anytime there is Sex Educate, I should subscribe you because you are subscribed for life. If you miss any of the Inner Circle course, the Sex Educate courses, in as much as you do not miss it, you can always grab the books. We have volume 1 for the Sex Educate series. We have volume 2. We have volume 3. And we have volume 4, and the 6th volume is part of the 6-in-1 bundle. Have you gotten that? I mean, if you have not, you're on your own, because these are what we need. It's part of the tools, it's part of the resources, it's one of it. It's part of the ingredients that we need to shift ourselves. Yes, it comes as revelation, and if you're not taking it, you're not in the Inner Circle, you're not a part of this webinars, you're not reading these books, you're on your own. And Giwa said, yes, I've not read all the books, but just joining the book reviews in the Inner Circle gives me a lot of perspective. It's sure becomes as if I've actually read all of these books. Yes, that's everything encompasses in the Inner Circle. That's what the Inner Circle gives you. And if you're not here, I don't know where you are. So, Ma, I want to ask you before I let you go, because of time, for the parents who are watching today, who is unsure, and maybe they are thinking, I don't have the time, or I'm not sure this is it for me. What would you say to encourage these parents? What would you say to them to actually give them that one word that they need to hear today, Ma? Over to you.
Okay. There's no one word. There are plenty words. But first, I would say that the change has to start with you first. If you are not coming for change, don't even bother signing up. If you don't want to change, if you want to remain where you are, don't bother signing up. Because for the change to happen, you have to also take the step. It's not like as if it's something that will come and make you a perfect person. No, you are coming to learn. You are coming to reflect and process on who you are. You are coming to find yourself before you get to that level of, and then you start to grow. So when you look at it and then you say, but I came into the inner circle and it doesn't look like it didn't look like this for me. What did you put, or what did you do while you were there? There's something that I noticed, that the people that I find my people also, I find my people. So what you are putting out there and what you are sharing on the group, it pulls people like you towards you. It pulls the kind of people that you need towards you. How will you know the people that you need? How will they find you if you are not there and you are not, sharing? I know that, we talk about it being about parenting and all of that, and you might be wondering that, but it is not entirely about parenting. As I'm talking, inner circle has improved me, impacted me in building habits, consistent habits. It has impacted me. This is away from anything with parenting. It has impacted me to live a healthier life. When coach is talking about the number of squats she does a day, and we are like, me and at 40, I'm like, coach, how is that possible? I cannot even do one bend. It makes me to take care of myself. It makes you to sit down and reflect and ask yourself certain questions. You ponder. You are constantly in a what do they call it, of reflection. So if already you are not on this journey, or you have not already started these things, inner circle will open your mind to possibilities that you never imagined could ever happen. And the community of people that are here sharing, it is not scam. It is not, there's nobody gave me any scripts to read or anything. As I'm talking, I'm having goosebumps sharing my own story, because even as I'm sharing it now today with the number of, the entire community and everybody, it's giving me more power, more confidence that, you have done well, Fati, you have done well, and you should be proud of yourself. And you should be proud of what you are doing. So there is no magic wand if you are coming to Inner Circle. There is no abracadabra. There is nothing like that. You have to come and be willing to become. You have to come and be willing to become. So everybody's journey is going to be unique and different. But your win is also your win, because you alone understand what is bringing you there. So I think, like I said, I have plenty of words, but let me just leave it at this. But I think this should surface. This should surface.
Thank you so much. That was amazing. I've said it before. Your transformation is not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming who God saw when He called you to be a mother. God doesn't call those who are ready. It's not about those who are ready. He is about those who are willing to be equipped. It's in your willingness. It is you who are willing. Those are the people that God calls. It is that person He transformed. The person He saw when He called you to be a mother. That willingness, it is what it is. Growth starts when you say yes, when you are willing, not when everything is perfect. It is when you are willing. It is not in your ready, it is in your willingness. You can say yes, I'm ready, but are you willing? It is in your willingness. When you say yes, I am willing. Yes, that's when everything, the turning point of your generation, after you become something that, you want, something that you see, that is when it becomes in your willingness. Thank you so much, Ma. Yes, you said you're saving some other words. It is not just one last word. Let me ask you for the last word before I let you go. What will be your final word to parents and leaders watching us today about parenting and intentionally and trusting
I
in
would
God
say
for
my
the journey?
final word is funny enough, even before I joined Inner Circle, I'm also an author. I authored a book, Beginner's Guide to Parenting Autism. And at the end of that book, there was one thing that I quoted that I also now heard Coach Wendy use it often. At the end of one of her books I was doing through, and Coach said it also. Do the work, do the time, and then crown it, the icing on the top of the cake is prayers. You see, even as a Muslim, I forgot to put in this part. As a Muslim, when I came in, I also had a different mindset, you know. But when I saw what was happening, it makes me to go back to my Quran. It makes me to go back to the hadith. It makes me to go back to what does my own religion say about these things. And I find that we also have it there, but we are not, you know, it's not put in this set way Coach Andy is putting it out there with the scriptures. It is not. So there's something regarding that, you know, faith activity. I go and recreate my own exactly, but I recreate and format my own for it to fit my religious belief, which coach also encourages. So it's also another thing that it's helped me to be comfortable with me being a coach and a Muslim, and also talking about my faith, because many times, you know, when you are a religious person, you'll be looking at. I remember when I started one of my live sessions and I come and I say Salaam Alaikum, and then people will be like, is your audience are your audience only Muslims? And I said no, but it is my faith, it is who I am, it is my identity, I cannot hide it. So it is not about, and this is another thing that CIP and Inner Circle, I was able to learn. I can still be myself and be a religious person. I still be delivering value to any person of any religion. It is what matters the most is the message, what you are, the impact, and the learnings and the wisdoms that you are taking from it. I forgot to mention the impact that the annual convention. That one, I learned something entirely different. I did not conference. I did not join last year. This year, I made a lot of mistakes I made last year. I'm making them, I'm learning from them this year. Because when I joined the annual conference this year, I was expecting, when I saw all the speakers, I said, maybe it's going to be preaching. When I joined, even the first, Pastor, I think Adeboye, when I had everything, and I was sharing it on my status and all, people were looking at me like, Fati, is it not face? I said, no, you don't understand. You cannot understand. I cannot explain it to you until you listen to what I just heard today. So there is no anything about whether or not it is, the religion. I pick what it is that works for you, and you can recreate it and put it in the way that it works for you. Earlier in August, there was an activity, that was a tool that I think it was, the tool came up, I think August 7 or so. And it was for us to create something about scriptures, a 30-day something about lessons from the scriptures or from the Bible or something like that. Funny enough, coincidentally, I had created my own from the 1st of August. I didn't even know that tool was coming. But I took it from some of the guides. There are some 30 days, something that use mostly, religious and Christian faith-based and all of that. But I ready to do something that month. And suddenly when it came in the tool on the 7th, I was like, that is my fire. I did not give up. I finished that 30 days with my kids. I created stories from the Quran, from the Prophet and everything. For 30 days, we were doing that session. And it was so beautiful. By the end of it, even my 5-year-old that was playing around, I was thinking that she was not learning. That one, I used to think she's one kind coach Wendy in this house. She will tell me, send it to your coach. Is that your coach? Is that not your coach? When she sees me watching, she was picking so many things. And the one that shocked me was that one day when she was in the bathroom taking her bath, and I was encouraging her to use her 2 hands. Then I said, Allah created us with 2 hands for a reason, so that one hand can help the other one. And immediately she said, just like the story of Moses and Aaron. And I was like, yes, because in the story, the lesson learned was that, the brothers were also able to, the wisdom and the learning, they were all given each individual, skill. And with that, they were able to help each other in promoting God's gospel. And you see, this is my 5-year-old giving me from the story that I didn't even know she was paying attention to. So you also be creative. The creativity doesn't end. It doesn't end. Your brain will just be sharping. Like, what can we do? What can I do? So these are what I would actually leave you with. There is no place like being in the inner circle. I've met amazing people. Shout out to my cohort. You guys are amazing, amazing. I don't even know what I did to deserve this love, because even when I was not sure of what to do at the beginning of this journey, they reached out to me, and immediately, with the lessons that the coach is sharing us, ask for help. I was ashamed to ask for help when I started leading. But you see, when they started reaching out to me and they were offering to help me, just let us know. I have certain people, Mama G, I know she's there already. Emily, Anita, these people, they reached out to me. Let me know when you need anything. We are here for you. Yvonne, oh my goodness, blessing. Anita, Altine, there are so many of them. They reached out to me. So when they reach out, and I hear coach also saying that we should ask for help, then whenever I'm going through anything, I'm not able to show up, I reach out to them and I say, please, can you guys help me to do this? Can you help me to do that? And they show up. They show up because why? Because they also know that I also show up when I can. So when I'm not available, they have no excuse but to stand up for me. And I am truly proud. I am honored to having given this opportunity, not just to be just a sitting member of the cohort, but to be a team lead. Thank you so much for Coach Wendy for doing this. There's a lot. I reflect a lot, and I cannot even explain all that has happened, just all I have learned just from being a leader. I cannot explain it. But thank you so much for the inner circle. TIP, admins, you guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. Well done. If it's actually me and you, this is my first time. We've been talking, but we are here now. I'm so happy to connect with you. I feel like we've known each other for so long, and I pray and wish us all the best in our endeavors. So I think this is where I will drop my pen and my voice today.
Amazing. Thank you so much, ma. You've said it all. Inner circle is a home. Inner circle is that place you must be. Inner circle is the place you're supposed to be. Inner circle is the community where you belong. Inner circle will give you everything you need. Inner circle will teach you how to journal. Inner circle, the principle is the same everywhere. There is nothing like you are religion there. It is God, the same God we all serve. Inner circle will teach you that. Inner circle will instill these values into your life. Journaling, tools, there is so much resource for you to get in the inner circle. There is voice note that just clicks on your head every time, every morning you wake up in the inner circle. Inner circle is that place. If you do not know how to do it, you reach out. There is somebody always there to actually support you and say, oh, this is actually how to do it. You can always be the one to teach another person. Indeed, it can only happen in the inner circle. Show me where it happens. Show me anywhere else it happens. No. It can only be in the inner circle. Inner circle is that place you say, oh, I'm going to so country. I'm going to so. There is no place as it stands now you can get to. You will see an inner circle parent. No.
I can't wait to connect with so many people, because I have a lot. Where am I going to now? Zimbabwe. Where am I going to now? Ghana. Mm-hmm. Anywhere around the world. Austria. Where is it? We know that we are there. Honestly. And lastly, the accountability. The accountability, coach encourages us to also have accountability partners. It's been very helpful. Coincidentally, my accountability partner is also my friend, and we've been together before even joining TIP. But she was in the yard already. So she was able to, hold my hand through the journey. I could always run to her. Shout out to Amina Ismail. She's my bestie. I could run to her anytime. We also share the same faith and all of that. And I have another friend who is also my accountability partner. So I have people for everything. So if it is faith-based, so I have those that I need to go to. If it is a general this thing, I have. If it is nobody can, I will go straight to my Oga Pata Pata coach.
It is so beautiful, very, very beautiful. You have access to Coach Wendy directly. You heard when Auntie Giwa said, she said, anytime I click to Coach Wendy, she's always there. She's always responsive. It's only in the inner circle. You have access to somebody, just someone who will just give you every answer at every step in your life that you need it. It's only in the inner circle. All this in the inner circle. And why are you still out there? Everything you need, the community you need to thrive, even in business, so even in your faith base, so in the inner circle, everything you need, someone to hold your hand and show you how to do it in the inner circle. Everything is in the inner circle. It encompasses a lot of things that we are not even. How many of them are we going to mention? Everything you need is in the inner circle. Why are you out there? Ma, Mama Hajiya Fatima, your story today, I mean, it has been a reminder that parenting is not just about raising your children, it's about partnering with God to raise that destiny. Wow, what a powerful conversation today. Madam Hajia, your story is such a testament that even when it feels like, I mean, it's the most unexpected path for you, God is still weaving purpose in that unexpected path for you. You've shown us that what, I mean, it looks like as a limitation in the eyes of man, in the eyes of every other person, even in that school your child is going, where your child is schooling, what it looks like a limitation, like a challenge, is actually a platform for grace, for God to hold your hand and show you that it is doable. You can do it. You can move that mountain. Your journey have been reminding us that parenting is not just about having all the answers. It's not about having it all in once. It is not. It is about allowing God to rewrite your script for you. It is about allowing God to show you the answers, to move one step at a time, even when the pages doesn't look like, I mean, it's all clear, it's all planned. God is still going to make out something from that for you. God is always moving. Thank you so much, ma. We'll let you go today. We'll let you have the rest
Yes.
of your day. Thank you so
Yes.
much for sharing your heart. I mean, your light with us today.
Thank
It's
you. Thank
so
you
very
for having me.
shining. We have seen it. You're already a transformation. Every part of us, even everyone, every of our parents, amazing yadas in the comment section, everybody have seen that, I mean, it's evident that you alone, you're already a ministry, you're already a beacon of inspiration for other parents, for other people who thought that, whoa, how are we going to do it? It's so difficult raising a special need child. But Inner Circle has been able to show you the way, and so far you've been able to extend that way to other people. You've been able to become the light for other people around you to see that it is doable, and that alone, it is for me. That alone is the transformation we need. You've done so well, ma. May your
Thank
story continue to inspire families all around the world. Thank you so much. It is I am honored to be the one anchoring this session today. I mean, seeing you, having this interaction with you, I
thank
am
you.
already blessed on my own. Thank you so
Oh,
much, ma. Thank
thank you
you.
so
Do have an
much.
amazing day.
You too,
Bye.
Baba.
Parents, please, whether you are single, whether you are married, whether you are a single mother, a single father, or whether you are a parent of a special need, or even a coach like Hajiya Fatima, there is a room for you in the inner circle. Inner circle is that place you need to be. God will meet everyone at their own point of growth. God is always there. He's waiting for us, and that God is the inner circle. Inner circle is that place that meets you. It will meet you at every point where you are. It will hold your hand and it will move with you. God, coach is always rooting out for each and every one of us. You have free access to Coach Wendy, a place where you have access to your coach, to your mentor in every aspect of your life that will move everything that is you think is a challenge for you. You know, but anytime people say, "Oh, I think I cannot do this," and they are complaining, and their complaint is proving that this thing is actually a challenge. It's something so difficult that you could not do. It's something so ambiguous for anybody to do. I am reminded that it is only just one information that you need. And it is only that information that could change every of that thing that you think you cannot do. And that is knowledge. Knowledge. And that's what the inner circle stands for. Inner circle will give you that knowledge. When you think that thing is so big, it's not something I can do, it's not something I think I can ever do. You are complaining. You are saying it to be so difficult. But when you get into the inner circle and get that knowledge, you see that it's easy. You parent from a place of peace. You see yourself transformed. You are not running up and down. You're no longer complaining. You do things you're supposed to do on ease. And that's what growth means. Growth doesn't always come in comfort. Sometimes it comes in tears. Yes, in patience, in your surrender. In your surrender. That's where growth comes. But through it all, God is always shaping something beautiful, because every stretch, every prayer, every quiet yes, Lord, every yes, I am willing, every yes, I am willing, birth transformation, not just for your children, but for us too, for everyone. So, parents, if you're hearing me today, if you're here today, this is that answer, this is that sign telling you that yes, you should jump into this circle. Be the answer for other people, even if you are in the circle too. Be the answer for every other parent. Give them that sign, give them that voice. Be the voice in your people around you. Of course, I know there is no way you will come across a yada and you will not tap from their light. There is no way you will see a yada and you will not see that there is something speaking. There is a place that they are cooking them. You will surely see it. But yes, you can also become that voice, just like Auntie Hajia Fatima. You can become that voice. You can become that voice. That's inspiration that they need around them in every of your community. You can bring in every of your family member. Be that voice, be that sign. Let them know that this is the place for them. Don't wait for the perfect time. Make the most out from this season while the sun is shining. Make the most out from it. Take that step. Commit to growth and give God something to walk through the inner circle with you. Yes, right now, for just 8 days, we have 8 days left before the inner circle fee increases again. You can join the inner circle at 140 for single slot and 220 for couple slot. It is something you can do today. Take opportunity. Take this advantage. Take this opportunity. Join into the inner circle. But remember, this offer is only open for just a short while before the price increases again. Like I mentioned, 8 days. And yes, while you do that, remember that the 16-in-1 bundle is still available at pre-order rate. Yes, it's still available at just 48,000. You will get the 6 bundles of books. The Sex Educate Volume 5 is part of this 6-in-1 book. If you need that calm, the 6-in-1 is for you. If you need that reset, the 6-in-1 for you. If you need to parent, yes, there is 13-in-1 devotional bundle. I hear parents saying, yes, we have been using it. But when you lay your hand on this book, Parenting Lessons from the Bible, you will see there are so many angles that you've not even seen, that you've not even touched. Yes, get yourself these bundles. Get it at pre-order rate before the price increases. Get for every other one around you. Even if you've gotten for yourself, there's someone you can always help with getting these copies of books from. And while you do that, please remain blessed. And to every parent watching us, keep growing. Keep trusting in God for this journey and keep partnering with God in this beautiful assignment called parenting, because it works. You have seen every evidence from every of our parents who come and sit here, who come into this studio to come and share their journey, to come and share their story, that it works. There's nothing that God cannot do. There's nothing so impossible through the Inner Circle program. There's nothing you can do with knowledge, and knowledge is the Inner Circle program. There's nothing there is no aspect of your life that you can't touch with knowledge. All you need is knowledge. When it is that you see that there's something difficult, all you need is just one information, one knowledge, and it's the Inner Circle. Come into the Inner Circle. Be blessed, and until next time on my intentional parenting journey, stay rooted in love. Stay rooted in this community. This community is God's love. Stay rooted in this community. Stay rooted in the yard. Stay rooted. Let it keep fueling you. All right? Be anchored in grace and be intentional in your purpose. Your purpose is this place. You are not looking for it. There is nothing lost. It is here. Remain here and be blessed. Okay? See you soon. Bye. Do have an amazing day.
Common phrases in the inner circle. Let's go.
You're coming for an inner circle webinar and you're not with your yellow blanket with red trimmings. Is that even a joke?
Oh, I'm running and I'm not looking back because 10,000 lions are chasing me. I have watched all the webinars, but today, Coach came with a bazooka.
Even with my humility agbada, I still collected.
If you're not in the ark, you better enter now because flood na bia o.
In the inner circle, we dey walk and they show.
TIP police is coming for you. There is no need harness here.
You definitely cannot relate because you are not in the yard.
If you are not in the yard,
why not?